Welcome to the Storm Surf Video Surf Forecast for the Indian Ocean for the week starting Sunday, July 27th. Brought to you by Kandui Resort in the Mentawai Islands, a great place to go surfing. First off, let's take a look at the significant wave heights for the Indian Ocean. Notice what appears to be a rather calm pattern, but do not be deceived. Much more storm activity is forecast for what has been a banner year for the Indian Ocean. Right now, only a small area of 22-foot seas. Actually, small is an understatement. It's a large area, basically pushing right into the southwest corner of Australia, and then 26-foot seas south of there. But a new system is starting to develop under South Africa, and this is the one that we'll be watching closely. Let's dive into the details. Right now, a bit of wind energy is ridging south. We're looking at jet stream level charts here. These are winds at 30,000 feet, and these help direct the travel path of storms when they form and also help to fuel their development. Right now, we're looking at this ridge, a rather robust ridge at that, 190 knot winds sort of pushing south. But here's the remnant trough of a previous system that basically traversed the entire Indian Ocean. Right here, the remnants of it are pushing under southern Australia, but behind that is this ridge sort of pushed south, doesn't allow anything to form, but this part here allows a clockwise circulation to continue organizing. That is low pressure in the southern hemisphere, and that supports storm development. Let's put this into motion and see what's happening. Notice also a trough is developing under South Africa here. This is on Sunday with a good amount of winds, 140 knot winds blowing up into that trough. That trough continues developing. Look at this, and here comes more wind, 170 knot winds building into the trough. And by Tuesday or so, we have a nice, well-formed trough here. This should support more low-pressure development. And here it goes. It just makes the whole track, again, the whole way across the Indian Ocean, at least in the main corridor. This is this area here relative to making swell for the Mentawai Islands and for Western Australia. And that goes into Friday. And yet a secondary trough forms behind that into the weekend and continues. There's the next big ridge, though. Sort of that shuts down production for a while, but still, this just looks like another banner week of production. So things are looking pretty good at the upper levels. Let's go take a look down at the surface. At the surface, this is surface level pressure, surface level wind. Wind is what generates raw seas. Seas, when they radiate away from the wind or the fetch that's generating the seas, turn into swell, and swell, of course, is what makes surf. New area expected of fetch, 45 knot winds, late Sunday under South Africa. Let's put this into motion. Builds. By Monday, we're back up to 55 knot winds, aimed well up the Great Circle past the Mentawai Islands, not so much towards Western Australia, but watch this as it goes. It sort of fades a little bit, more energy building behind it. The two systems join, and here we go, another fetch of 45 knot winds by midweek. Relative to the Mentawai Islands, right up the 215-degree path. Relative to Western Australia, not quite as well, about the 237 or so. We continue to roll this out, and this fetch just continues to plow east with yet another system organizing behind it. This just sort of makes for continuous fetch, continuous 40-knot winds blowing over the Indian Ocean now we're into about Sunday and things settle down. And yet, here comes another one trying to get organized, but doesn't look as powerful as the previous ones. So, all in all, it looks like there's a good amount of wind energy on the ocean surface. Let's go see how that manifests in terms of sea development. So here's the remnant system we were looking at moving into Western Australia and under Southern Australia. Here's the new system coming under South Africa on Sunday. By Monday, we're building 38-foot seas, and then we're up to 40, we about peaked out there sometime Monday. It looks like about the 43-foot range relative to the Mentawai Islands, aimed right up. And actually, you can sort of put this in motion. Just notice it just pushes right up this track to the Mentawai Islands. Prime target right there. Not so well tracking up, more cutting across the Great Circle paths to Western Australia. That doesn't mean they're not going to get energy, just probably not as direct a path toward the Mentawais. And notice this system continues 32-foot seas, just pushing closer to the Mentawais. And then, boom, here we go again. Yet more energy developing on the 215-degree path into Wednesday. 40-foot seas, and the beat goes on. Notice this is taking better aim now on Western Australia. We'll actually roll this back a little bit. You see, look at this. Here's about the 242-degree path. Just pushes right on up there as well, and then yet starts redeveloping yet more with a secondary system behind that of 32-foot seas, again aiming the Mentawais up the 220-degree path. And so it looks like another good week, and then things start settling down a bit. If we look at all the sea production over the entire week and a half period, here's what you get. This is 20-foot or higher seas from today through a week and a half out from now, the entire model run. Notice at some point in time there's almost a continuous string of 40-foot seas over the entire South Indian Ocean. Certainly 30-foot seas cover everything, and much higher than that. This is piles of 18, 19-second period swell production, and lots of, and just continuous 13-second and above nonstop. So this is really good coverage. This is what you'd want to see lots of swell radiating up into higher latitude, or actually, I guess it'd be higher latitudes, yes. And as a result, here's the projected surf heights. We're not going to get into the real details here. You can look at it on the site, but just continuous looks like about 9-foot faces, and then peaking up towards the end into the 14-foot range relative to the Mentawai Islands, with basically next to no wind going on. Swell heights in the 5 to 6 feet, pushing up to 8 foot here at the end in the 15 to 16 second range, and then up to into the 20-second range here towards the end of the week. And then relative to Margaret River, much more wave energy because the storm is moving much closer directly in the 15 to 20 foot range, peaks in the 25 foot range. I mean, but this just goes on all week basically. There's only one little spot where things die out. Wind speeds are not looking nearly as favorable though. It's like a steady onshore flow, and you get this one little spot here of semi-offshore winds, and then another better potential here with offshore winds. So you can check these out on the site, root around, you can find them. So again, a banner week of swell production is on tap for the Indian Ocean, for all targets in the Indian Ocean. Again, the Indian Ocean has been the go-to place this entire summer season. The South Atlantic, South Pacific have not done a whole lot. Everything seems to be concentrated towards the Indian Ocean. So, that's just the way it is at this point in time. And there really isn't much of a better place to go catch these swells when they hit. Kandui Resort in the Mentawai Islands. Great place to go surf. Great accommodations. Nice people. Check them out. KanduiResort.com on the web. Okay, we'll do this again next week. Same time, same channel. See you then. Thanks.